Welcome to Garage Cells Unhinged.
where the characters are as quirky as the finds.
I'm Julie.
And I'm Jake.
Join us as we dive into the wild world of garage sales, yard sales, estate sales, and anywhere secondhand sales are happening.
From bizarre bargains to hilarious haggles.
You won't believe the stories we've got lined up.
Let's get unhinged.
Jake, how much are you actually following our podcast on like Instagram or YouTube?
I never keep up with this. I do listen to it. And I go, I don't like how I sound. I'm actually manlier than this. But
No,
I don't,
you're not.
Yeah, you're right.
In one of our previous episodes, I talked about how our mom used to reprimand us whenever we would act up at the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
And she would make us hold hands. And if we complained about holding hands, then we had to kiss and make up.
Please clarify if somebody hadn't heard that. We didn't kiss each other on the mouth. We had to like kiss each other.
Full on friend,
Which is a different kind of trauma. But
full on tongue. Mom said that we had to.
right.
No. So yeah, it was, we had to kiss each other on the cheek, tell each other that we were sorry, and then we could stop holding hands, which was very difficult to do.
Yeah.
So I sent that short clip to our mother,
Mm.
and she was very proud of herself. So
Yeah, I mean, as one would be, at this stage, you're this far into all that you've wrought. You really ought to just lean into the Hannibal Lecter side of it. It's like,
well, I don't think she heard about us talking about how much trauma it caused us. She was just proud of herself for being a mother and didn't whoop our butts at the grocery store in public.
yeah, I created a memory for my children. It's like we won't talk about the quality of that memory, but true, it did stick.
Well, and since we're doing a throwback to some previous episodes, just for some quick updates, do you remember a couple of episodes ago, I talked about how I injured my toe at the gym?
Yeah, is there an update on that? How's it going?
Yeah. So for those that haven't heard that episode, first of all, shame on you.
Seriously,
Yeah.
the hell wrong with you?
God, I can't stand you, listener.
We've had this conversation more than once.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing? Get your head in the game, man. We need you out there. Wimby's playing.
They disgust me. So the second thing is that we were trying to decide if I was going to lose a toenail. For medical terms, it's called a hematoma. And I know that sounds very scary, but it's essentially like whenever you bruise, you get a hematoma under the skin.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
collection of blood. I just, I want to sound smart. So that hematoma burst over the weekend. And so, and whenever I say burst, it wasn't like, don't go like all Michael Bay on me. It didn't like, there was no
Okay.
fireworks. It wasn't anything
You
like
didn't
that.
have like the elevator at the Shining Hotel.
No.
Okay.
So for those that are squeamish, you are probably the person that didn't listen to that episode I talked about it. So you're going to listen to this part, screw you. But I took a device that's meant to like clean underneath toenails and stuff. And because I thought I just had like debris under my toenail. So I went to scrape it. And whenever I scraped it, that started to release the pressure and the hematoma collection underneath my toenail. And that was 3 days ago. And I can tell that part of my toenail is no longer attached to my toe, but part of it is. And I don't want to go to the doctor. One, it does not hurt. It is not in pain. I am not in pain. I don't know why I thought my toe was a separate being to say it was not in pain. I'm not in pain.
My toe, I checked on it, and it told me things are cool. So
Tony the toe is totally fine.
Tony the Toe. I like that as a mob name. Tony the Toe. Right next to the Carl the Cuticle.
So my husband and I, we have a friend. Their last name is Santos, and he actually did injure his toe a couple of summers ago, and it was gross, black and blue, it was bad. And so I started coming up with the whole like idea for a book of, they were going to get the toe, and so we changed his last name from Santos to just Santo. and Santo was a mobster, and like it took on a life of its own. And it's amazing what alcohol will do to your creative writing, kids. Um, so anyway, my toe is fine. The toenail is separating from the toe. Everything I have read on the interweb says that it's fine. It may still fall off. It may just continue to grow and push itself out. But yeah, I have a squishy toe right now, but it seems to be okay.
Well, congratulations. We've all been kind of on pins and needles about it. What would be great is if we were in even a more surveillance state to the point that you did that and still your insurance company would bill you. Like what you
Oh,
did was technically a medical procedure and it's
yeah.
not covered. So
Well, so okay, let's do this, Jacob, because at that point, whenever I go get a pedicure, should my insurance be covering it?
that's a good question.
It's an excellent question because I think my insurance should cover my pedicure.
Hmm.
These toes be looking fly, except for one because it's kind of gross. But and actually, it's not gross right now. It just has a much shorter toenail than the rest of the toes right now. But Tony is doing fine. And we record this virtually. Jacob just changed his background to a hula hut or something.
Yeah. I couldn't tell what it was while I was doing this. I am riveted by your toe story. I just wanted to transport myself a bit. I mean, it seems like that needed to happen anyway because you have like another toenail on the way, which is again kind of a miracle of life. Like you hurt a nail and your body's like, don't worry about it. We got a lot of these packed away. And you're like, where? Dear God, tell
Wait,
me where these are. That's not okay.
so when Elton John and his writing partner created Circle of Life for the Disney movie Lion King, was he really focused on the next toenail coming out and wasn't really thinking about the circle of life?
Yeah. It really does make one wonder. And I don't know. It is kind of a lot. It's kind of amazing what the body can do. As far as like regenerating things that you figure, I mean, you lose a nail and it feels like, oh, it's horrible. It feels bad. Not the best feeling, but the fact that these things can grow back. And as I
Well,
understand it, like at the molecular level, it's the same stuff as hair. And so like if you pass away, you're buried, the hair and nails continue to grow for a very long time.
I
And
don't want that wig.
like these folks, and I think you're right to refer to your toe as a separate entity because it seems like we're not on the same page. It's like, hey guys, we're done. We're off to see all of the dogs we love, but the nails and the hair are still doing it. I will say, I am glad to hear that you're feeling better, that you went Dr. Quinn on your own foot, and it seems like you accelerated the healing process.
I am a modern day medicine woman by using the internet to know if I needed to go to the doctor or not. My husband still thinks I needed to go to the doctor, but I was like, why? They're going to numb my toe. They're going to cut away the toenail and then charge me a lot of money for it. Like the toenail's probably going to fall off. And I saved us money. No, I'm not using a beautiful sunny day to go to the doctor to have them remove Tony.
So when you told the story originally, you mentioned that you had gotten a pedicure.
Yes.
Is another one of those in your near future?
Well, I did get a pedicure last week. And and it was funny because I think I mentioned before, I took I had a pedicure, injured the toe, and I could feel the pressure building up underneath the toenail and all that stuff. So I took off my freshly painted toes and took off the freshly paint on my toes to make sure like, hey, what kind of damage did I really do to the toenail? And sure enough, it was black and blue. And I'm like, but it didn't hurt. I wasn't running a fever. It's not infected. Like, people, get your mind out of the gutters. But whenever I went back to go get another pedicure, the lady saw my toe and like all my other toes are painted. And she saw that toe. She goes, what happened to your toe? I was like, oh, I dropped a weight on it at the gym. She's like, oh, okay. And she starts doing stuff. She goes, I just want to make sure it wasn't fungus. And that had not occurred to me that it could be like a fungal infection. And I was like, oh my God, no. So, but yeah, now, the next time I get a pedicure, will I only be paying for 9? I don't know.
Hey.
Or, well, the other thing is too, is I'm like, should I just tell them not to touch that toenail? Because also I love my nail salon, the ladies that work there, the men that work there are great people. And I'm like, man, I don't want to scare them by like the toenail falling off while they're doing the
Oh
pedicure.
God.
And I was like, that sounds like
Very
trauma.
tough.
Like, I'm so sorry. You don't
You're
want to
being
do
a
that.
good customer. You're showing a lot of love to your community by not shedding your toenails on people that are just trying to work.
I'm trying really hard.
I do like
Um,
the idea of, being charged by the toe. And so you're like, I'm gonna wear these slides that only expose these toes, so please only do these two. And I expect
you,
the bill on this to be commensurate. So
I think about people that like who've maybe lost a leg or something like that. I'm like, whenever they go get a pedicure, did they get a 50% discount? They should.
are you able to buy just one shoe at Foot Locker?
Well, I'm wondering if I should get like a handicap placard because I'm about to lose a toenail and pour one out for Tony. So
Yeah.
I feel like, or you know what? If I can't get a handicap placard, can I get disability benefits?
You know what's
I feel like
great
one of
about
those
this?
has to happen.
Like the past, 10 minutes have been toe talk. And there's some pervert out there for whom this is totally for them, and they would never have known it because this is a garage sale podcast.
I know. Well, I bring all this up because that's not anything that we're talking about today.
Are you planning a garage sale, yard sale, or estate sale and need some help? Look no further than Garage Sale Supply. They provide top-notch resources and expert advice to help you host the perfect sale. From pricing tips to promotional strategies, they've got you covered. Visit GarageSaleSupply.com and make your next sale a success.
What we are going to talk about, Jake, is in April, I was in Colorado and I went to some antique stores. I went to some thrift stores and I picked up, this is something that we don't get a lot of. It's an actual newspaper, print newspaper, and it's called the Mountain States Collector.
Wild. The only print paper, I actually get a print paper. It's just the Onion. But other than that, yeah, man, something in print, like, wow. 1996 much?
Well, this paper on the front of it says devoted to antiques, collectibles, furniture, art, design, and history.
Whoa.
And for our podcast, I'm like, this fits right in line with what we do and what we talk about. So I picked it up and honestly, I'm transparent with our audience because again, the people that didn't listen to the original episode about me talking about my toe, screw them. But I'm pretty transparent with you, Jake, as my brother. And I didn't really look at it until right before we recorded. Just, in usual Julie fashion, did no research before coming onto the podcast. But as I flip through this, I will say, like, it's not a huge publication. You can subscribe to it. They do offer a digital version of it. And it's cheap. I can also tell, like, it looks like it's written by a bunch of locals, which is great because that's what you want. And then all the ads in here are for antique places, thrift stores, festivals where they have reselling options there. And the one that I have is from April 2026, and it's volume 54, number 4. So this newspaper was established in 1972. So, and it's been going, it's been going strong. Like if I were going to get breakfast at my local diner, coffee shop, this is the type of newspaper I want to read because It has some actually good information in here about the secondhand market, collectors, stuff like that. The cover story is about souvenirs of baseball, and it goes into details about those souvenirs and how it came to be. But like, it's pretty interesting, some of the stories in here, and it's fun. They're well written. I will say, like, there are some, I don't want to say grammatical errors, but I'm going to say newspaper layout errors. So like there's a word that has a hyphen in it, that word in the English language doesn't come with a hyphen. And I used to work at a newspaper, so I knew like, okay, well, they had to edit it down and they kept the hyphen in there by mistake. So I get it, deadlines, all that stuff. But I'm trying to get to an actual article that I did read in here that I did not even consider that people collected this item. And Jake, I'm going to give you 3 guesses
Okay.
to see if you can guess what people are collecting.
Well, this is going to be tough. So if it's something that people are collecting that you didn't think people would collect, come on. It seems like that could be a lot of stuff. So can you maybe give me a hint?
Yes, the hint is that it is a paper product.
A paper product. And again, that's like a pretty big category because you got your like, okay, newspapers, and some people do
Mhm.
collect newspapers. But that goes all the way. There's a lot of paper products: business cards, toilet paper, birthday cards. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you were
go.
wrong on all 3 of those things.
Wow. Well, I guess those are my 3 questions. Damn. Yeah. Are you
So
really the head of Quickie Mart? Yes. Really? Yes. You? Yes.
So this article that's in this lovely newspaper, it's written by Dee Dee Horan, and the title of it is "Interesting and Unusual Postcards to Collect."
Hmm.
I hadn't. I love, like, I used to send postcards whenever I would travel around the world and we didn't have the internet and email and all that stuff. They were fun to send because you could always send something of the landscape and then like wish you were here, which if I ever sent you a wish you were here, I didn't mean
Not
it.
true. Yeah.
I just didn't know what else to put on there.
They
Um
really shouldn't make a new category. It's just glad you're not here.
yeah. I do okay, so this is a very cute and endearing thing that I did several years ago. I bought they're modern, but they look like older antique postcards, but they're little Valentine cards. And every once in a while, I'll put one in my husband's luggage whenever he's leaving for like a work trip. So whenever he gets to where he's going, he opens it up and is like, I like your butt, something like that. So yeah, I hadn't thought about postcards being a collector's item, but also if you look at some of the older ones, they are very interesting. They have a really unique artwork on them. And sometimes postcards, especially in the early 1900s, 1800s, they may have been like a one of 20, like because the artwork and the print production of it isn't like the mass production that we have today. So in this article, and it's not a long article, and I could probably read the whole thing here, and we'd still have plenty of time to talk about it. But a person came into an antique store, a thrift store, and they were looking for postcards. And one of the things that they were looking for was, did the card show people or animals on stilts?
Huh. Wow. That's pretty damn specific. That's cool.
Yeah. And Dee Dee writes, like, it caught her off guard. I'm guessing it's a woman. Caught her off guard. She couldn't really come to mind of like, did she have anything with this stilt image on it? And but then several months later, she did come across one. And the pictures here, it's a little like baby chick up on stilts. And behind it is a rabbit sitting on Easter eggs, and it says "Best Easter Wishes." And I'm like, who would have thought to even like create that artwork? Another person so other collectors have asked for postcards that show rolling pins, corkscrews, hot dogs, lawnmowers, accordions, ladies wearing lockets, quilts as the backdrop, and tarpon fish.
And what?
So
I'm sorry. What was that last one?
a tarpon fish.
You'll have to help me out with that.
It's Tarpon. Is it tarpon? Tarpon.
Well, the spelling isn't really the issue. I'm just not sure what that is.
Well, if you follow us on Instagram at Garage Sales Unhinged, you'll see a picture of a tarpon fish or tarpon fish. I don't know if I'm saying it right.
And as we've established, I don't do that, but you should. Shame on you for not doing it.
But for people that resell postcards and they know that there's collectors out there that collect postcards, they can now start to source those types of things whenever they're at antique, swaps or thrift stores or garage sales or estate sales. They can start to be on the lookout for those things because they know that there's collectors out there that are looking for specifically those types of things.
Very cool. Don't you get the feeling that if you picked up any kind of bygone piece of media and started really leaning into it, people would kind of go crazy for it?
So okay, I was thinking about this the other day, and it's not even, well, I mean, it is now bygone piece of media, but like, you remember whenever the craze was, and this was just a few years ago, people wanted to buy ETFs for stupid
Yeah.
amounts of money.
Some people did. A few
Yeah.
people did. Maybe one person did. And I'm sure they all feel really good about the investment now.
Yeah. So I think about that type of thing of, am I on the cutting edge of what people want to collect, or can I create enough mayhem and excitement around it that people go, oh, I need to hurry up and go get that thing? Can I create the next ETF?
Can I
The thing
can
about
I
it,
generate the buzz? Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, the thing about an ETF is it's a digital file. I can copy and paste, and I got the same thing you got. But to something that's tangible, something that is, um, has some
I think you
artistry
might
to it.
mean I think you might mean NFT, or is that no, that's non-fungible token. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, not
ETF is an
yeah,
electronic funds transfer,
yeah, no,
right?
no, NFT. That's what I meant.
NFT, like Julie's talking about the Bored Apes and the
Yes.
different stuff where you had various wet guys trying to sell you this idea that, hey, if you buy the rights to this picture, you're the only one that owns that picture. And it's a one of one. And don't you see? Everyone will want what you've got because no one else has the rights to that original picture. And it's strictly digital. You're not buying a piece of art. You're buying, like, you own the file name. Isn't that amazing? And
Yeah.
if you can't see the value in that, then you're in the same boat as a lot of other people because no one saw the value in that. And I'd really like to know the cottage industry involved with a consulting group that hires celebrities to go on late night talk shows to hawk this stuff, because it was pushed to the point that you'd have major celebrities going on TV shows and being really uncomfortable sitting there promoting and talking about something that they don't really understand. They certainly don't believe in, but this is the gig. And like you'd have Gwyneth Paltrow or was it I don't know, some other actress, some Paris Hilton went on Jimmy Fallon and was promoting the Bored Ape
Yeah.
NFT. And you can tell even Jimmy, who is happy to sell anything, was up there and he didn't get it either. But this is the segment. Somebody paid for this, and it didn't take. This was during. This is kind of sprinkled throughout the COVID
Yeah.
times, and it was around the same time that you'd get kind of sprinkled stories about, well, these celebrities only bathe once a week. How about that? And that didn't go anywhere, and it was clearly a concerted thing. And I'm trying to figure out what the hell was that? Why were they trying to convince us that it was sexy to not bathe? It didn't
Uh,
take, and like everyone's memory holded along with the NFTs. But
Hey,
that's
I'm
what you mean.
I'm going to give you some advice and our listeners some advice. You don't have to do what other people are doing. Like, even if, Leonardo DiCaprio only bathes once a week does not mean that if you only bathe once a week that you can win an Oscar. Like that's not what any of that means.
Yeah.
So bathing is good. Deodorant is fantastic. Brushing your
And,
teeth at least
and
once a day, ideal.
and so is dating within 10 years of your age, Leo.
Oh, Leo. Anyway, in this article, it ends up so this person ends up buying a bargain box of postcards, and they go through it, searching through the boxes to see like what kind of treasures could they find, what kind of possible collector postcards that people want to purchase. And they found a postcard that actually survived through the mail, and it was a measurement of 1 5/8 inches by 2 1/4 inches.
Hmm.
So someone actually mailed that postcard and it survived through the mail to end up at an auction house.
That's
Or
amazing. That's not much bigger than the postage stamp you'd have to put on.
right. Right. Anyway, it was interesting. And this goes into like, oh, what people collect, and like I didn't know postcards was a thing. Like I think that's really cool. And also that would probably be something that I would collect because it's essentially handheld artwork, and it tells a
Mhm.
history of mail. It tells a history of why did someone send it. Like there's a story behind each one of them.
Yeah.
And I was watching a social media clip the other day of the actor Nathan Fillion. Fillion? I'm mispronouncing all sorts of stuff today. I don't know. And he was
So
talking about
the guy from Firefly and stuff like that, right?
yes, yeah. And he was talking about some of the things that he collects. And the number one thing that he collects, do you want to take a wild guess? I'll give you one wild guess.
I couldn't even imagine. What could that guy collect? I have no idea.
The number one thing he collects like 5 different things, but the number one thing on his list that he collects, action figures of himself.
Cool.
And part of me is like, I think I'd like him as a person, and
Yeah.
like I think he's just a funny guy. And I was like, that is the best thing ever of going, if you're gonna collect something, make it look like you.
I like that.
But anyway, I thought for those that are interested in the secondhand sales market, that for those that are interested about collectibles or anything like that, the Mountain States Collector, they do have a website. You can do a subscription to them. The subscription is pennies. So go out, support local, support people that are writing these stories. It's actually really interesting. And also, if you're in the Colorado area, pick up one of these publications. They list out all of the like monthly events that are happening, festivals that are happening, antique sales that are happening. So it's a good resource for the secondhand sales market.
Good tip. Buy local. Pick up paper. It's not really going to hurt trees the way other things might.
Yeah.
Go back to print. It's cool.
Yeah. You could totally take this and read it at the coffee shop. You can tuck it under your arm and drive off into the bathroom to mess it up. And, you got extra paper there.
Same time, subscribe to our Patreon and follow our Instagram. What the hell's wrong with you? Why are you looking at paper? How old are you?
We
God.
don't have Patreon. We do have an Instagram, and you can follow us or just check it out on Instagram at Garage Sales Unhinged. And Jake, that's what we got for this week.
Toodaloo.
Bye.